Hello and welcome to another video. Thanks for tuning in, really do appreciate it. But a couple of things off of the bat. First of all, I've really been enjoying making lots of videos recently for everyone. If you've been enjoying them, thank you very much. But if you've got any suggestions or how I can serve you better, drop a comment below. Reach out to me via personally through direct message on Instagram or the email address below. The aim of this YouTube channel isn't just to share my life, but also to help others. And whatever way that might be, putting a smile on your face, giving you some information, or just brightening up the spirits of the day. One thing that you could do to help me, which will also help you, if we can get this channel growing lots more, hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already, so we can even evolve and grow even more together. Enough talking, more running. So today's run, I'm wearing my moon boots. That's what I like to call them because of the color, and yeah, they're also super squishy and everything. So I've been wearing these for about 40 kilometers now, and to be honest, for the first 2 or 3 runs, they didn't actually feel fun at all. But actually, the more I run in them now, the more I sort of feel comfortable and enjoying more running in them. But there'll be a full review come later date. So here's a great quote that I love. Let's hope I get it right actually. Who's more foolish, the fool or the fool that follows? Now, I just want you to think about it for a little bit and what that means to you, because I guess with anything, people can interpret things in different ways, and that's a good thing. So think about it just for a second whilst I overlay some B-roll. Who's more foolish, the fool or the fool that follows? Okay, you had some time to think about it? Yeah, I think it's quite a good quote. What about you? What it means to me, I mean, there's very different levels to it, but I think on an overall picture is a little story like this. Here in the winter in Finland, the ocean and lakes freeze over, and people go on them to do activities like ice skating or just walking on the ice. I've done it plenty of times myself. But you really need to be knowledgeable to know how thick the ice is. And if you see footprints on the snow over the top of the ice and you follow them, how do you know that that person was knowledgeable and, you know, in the right state of mind? That could have just been like a tourist going, and you follow those footsteps. Basically, you're not really being super knowledgeable and taking the right precautions. So in that sense, that's a nice way of painting the picture of saying, you know, who's more foolish, the fool or the fool that follows? Okay, let's just stop the run for a little bit, because I saw this big rock here in the forest and it looked too tempting to not go and try and climb on it. So we'll go a little bit off track in the road shoes in what seems to be like a little bit of a swampy area. And here you go. If you thought I was lying about the swampy area, water, and there's the big rock. Let's get up the big rock and then catch up in a moment. Or maybe not, let's just do it live so you can see me fall in the swamp if I do. Like, perfect, better way to come up is this way, maybe. Whoop! Nope, that was not scripted. So here, 1 step, 2 step, I can put you down there. You alright? Good. There we go, on top of the rock. I'm on top of the rock! Well, so I've always found it really easy to get up, but always hard to get down, and no matter whatever thing. So have a look. Whoa! Watch that step, Mark. Watch that step. How do we get down? Like this, eh? On the bum, one jump. On the bum, up a jump. Wasn't so bad. So how does that quote translate into running? Well, I like to sort of think about it like this. If you see people doing stuff on Strava, on YouTube, or wherever, and you think, hey, you know, like they're fit, they're doing this, that's the right thing to do. It's not necessarily always the right thing for you to do. And I touched on this on a different video. And that's where I think like that you really need to have like a little bit of your own knowledge, or do a little bit of research, or ask questions to that person about it, because they might advise differently because they have different adaptations in their body. So who's more foolish, the fool or the fool that follows, can also be translated into your running in that sort of sense. And that's not the only single way. And there's another twist to this tale, is the fact that it's not always about, like, in the literal term of following somebody, but it can be what intrinsically to yourself as well. So what do I mean by that? I mean, do you always just follow what you've always been told, what you've always done? Maybe you've always ate peanut butter on a bagel for breakfast, and you're looking for something to improve with your performance, that you've never actually decided to just explore a different idea. And I think that's like one of the major points, that you really need to question things. Now, that was my New Year's resolution 2 years ago or 3 years ago, to question things a little bit more. And once you start to sort of explore different things, like, hey, you know, 1 second, why am I always doing these long runs on a Sunday? Maybe it should be good to do on a Saturday. Whatever, there are plenty of different opportunities out there. So yeah, it's just one little quote, and you know, big thoughts that come out of a little quote, and I think that's really interesting to explore different things like that. And I hope that's been of use to you as well. It's been of use to me to think about it and explore it a little bit more. But look how beautiful these cherry blossoms are. It's so nice, like the different colors. And maybe we'll get up the drone later on and fly it over or through the trees and not crash it. So I bet you're wondering how the run went. Well, maybe you're not, but I'm just going to tell you quickly anyway. 12 kilometers, just over an hour and 10 minutes, average heart rate of around 130 beats per minute. All the details here and on Strava. You can click on the link down below if you want to see more about it. But it was nice to be outside. Just a couple of things though, like a real odd kind of, like, no real pain in the knee, but it's just like as if there's something loose, like a nerve that's just like floating around like this in there. And yeah, so that's the first time in a while it's been like that, and just got to monitor that, be careful with it. And I think it's kind of normal when you're coming from an injury, that is an adaptation that you start building, adding a little bit more stress, and the body kind of like reacts and holds and tightens up. So make sure I do some foam rolling later on, but not do it too hard, not give too much pressure and trying to iron things out. It's not like an ironing board. But just treat the body well, and hopefully we'll be feeling better, and try not to let it bother me mentally too much, because that can be one of the biggest things, that you start thinking, oh, I'm injured again, or it's come back or whatever. But no, I know that it's part of adaptation and growth, so got to be confident about it. And a beautiful day, let's go exploring. So it'd be interesting to know, what is your recovery go-to after a hard run, or just running in general? I'm sure you can tell what mine is. Smoothies. Well, basically it's fruit. I find it really hydrating, full of good nutrients, and gets the body kick-started again with natural sugars. But what do you have? Leave a comment down below. What's your go-to post-activity recovery Kickstarter? And we don't always want sweet things, so my favorite savory recovery recovery food is black bean burrito. And my on-the-go recovery one would have to be a Clif Bar, not this crunchy nut peanut butter, but probably the banana peanut butter with dark chocolate in it. just going out for a little bike ride and the beautiful sight of the railway. But it's quite a nice little bike path all the way there. I'm going to try and catch Emma as she cycles back from work along there. Right, closing out another video. Thank you very much everybody for watching, all the incredible support. I love being part of this community, all of us together, and can't wait to share another video with you. I can't wait to share another video with you tomorrow.